Hi, welcome back to the Create Joy channel. I am Mrs. Create, and today we're going to talk about why we decided to homeschool. It was a big decision. Our daughter was already enrolled in public school and we were happy where we were, but COVID, reason number one, we just don't know enough. Because of COVID, we decided just the fear of the unknown and not really knowing how the school would be equipped to handle it and who could catch it and how it spreads and just the mayhem around schools opening and not opening and school plans. I could really stop the video right there. Number two, we decided because of health reasons, we would not send our daughter to school, that it made more sense to homeschool. And by health, I mean we have people in our family who are immune compromised. We also have a senior citizen that we're responsible for caring for. And so it just didn't really make sense to put ourselves in harm's way if we didn't have to. All right, here's the big one. Number three, virtual was not for us. Woo! It was a hot mess in the spring. Our daughter had an amazing teacher. She had, the Google Classroom down pat. She was doing a great job with the Zooms and read alouds and different websites. But for us, it was really, by us I mean the parents, it was very challenging to get anything done or do anything outside of being a mouse chauffeur, if I might say that. Like, all I could do was walk around and help her with her assignment. There was no time to do anything that I needed to do. On top of that, I guess the bigger issue was that my daughter was not behaving like herself. She was whiny, she was unfocused, she was unmotivated. Three things that are very not like her. She was, in tears when I would tell her it was time to get on a Zoom. She didn't want to participate. She was very quiet and withdrawn. That's not our kid. So virtual was not for us. The fourth reason, the mask. The few occasions that I have taken our daughter to a store, she has taken the mask off. She's eaten the mask. The mask is here, it's there. I just couldn't envision her in a classroom environment learning with the mask on all day, not touching it if she's eating it when she's with me. So yeah, I see if there's a little eye action behind the scenes here. That really did happen. The other part about the mask was the teacher and me could not visualize how a classroom of students was going to sit with a mask on, including students who have learning challenges or behavior issues, how they were going to sit and listen and learn with a mask on. Also, all of the minutia that will go along with keeping the children clean if they sneeze or take it on or off or want to talk or bite it or eat it, especially in these lower grades. I just could not visualize how that would happen. Okay, so this is kind of like an unknown. So number 5, unknown. I know how my family moves. I know what we do when it's time to clean the groceries and we get the Clorox out and we wipe everything down, and how much we wash our hands, and how we limit our trips to the store by using shopping services. But I don't know how other families move. I don't know if their whole family is going unmasked, if they're taking trips, if they're just hanging out in the world, and if they're carrying the very thing that I've been stuck in the house trying to avoid getting. And then I send my kid to school, she sits next to that child, and boom. If she catches the common cold like that in the classroom, like really? I don't know. So the unknown. Number 6, what kind of experience would it be for a young learner to go to school and not be able to hug their teacher, not be able to sit on circle and hug their friends and play at recess freely the way that an elementary school age child should? That was a huge part of our weigh-in about whether she should stay home or go to school. Number 7, would it actually be worth the hassle? Districts all had different plans. Ours at one point had one where it was going to be partially virtual and partially in person, and the hassle of getting her ready to go to school partially, but then the rest of the day do online. It just seemed like, well, would that even be worth the hassle of getting her up, getting her dressed out? That seemed like way more work than it would just to stay home and teach her ourselves, to be honest with you. And knowing me, if I send her someplace, I'm going to be worried the whole time if she did all those other things I just talked about. Like, is her mask on? And did she wash her hands? Did she have access to be able to wash her hands? And all of those things. Everything but focusing on the learning. And the last reason number 8, I'm Mrs. Create. I spent 15 years in an elementary school classroom, and I spent the most of my time teaching 2nd grade. And so as a mom, I'm like, this is the grade that she would be in this year. If there were ever a grade that you feel well equipped and have a lot of experience teaching, this would be it. And so here we are. Mommy's gonna juggle it, and September 8th is going down. We're homeschooling. It's gonna be an adventure. I've never homeschooled before. I've been a classroom teacher, but I've not been a homeschooling teacher. So I expect that there's gonna be a learning curve here. There's already a little bit of a learning curve in terms of like how to set our home up for learning. I have a lot of great ideas, but we'll see when it's time to learn if those things really stick outside of COVID crash course spring teaching. But just really trying to make sure that we're prepared for the school year. I've got a lot of fun projects in store. I'm really excited about the content and being in charge of what she's learning and how she's learning, and being able to teach her strengths and to be able to have the time to work with her on the things that are her weaknesses. So I'm getting excited and a little bit nervous about how I'm going to do the rest of the work that I'm expected to do. I don't know about y'all, but I'm about overcooking. Like, if I have to make one more breakfast, lunch, or dinner, like, for real. I digress. I got a little party over here who's looking at me, but I'm about sick of cooking. But anywho, those are my 8 reasons for why we decided to homeschool. I probably could ramble on a little bit longer. Oh, see, there you go. I've moved more things in my office and they're collapsing as I'm shooting this video because we're making room for homeschool. So right on cue, stuff is falling off the falling over, okay? But if you enjoyed this video and you're interested in seeing how our homeschooling journey progresses, please, subscribe and stick around and see how things turn out this year. I'm going to tell you the truth. There's going to be a lot of great things coming. I hope you stick around. Please like or subscribe this video, but until then, create joy.